If you thought the days of epic spy alliances were over, you are about to be proven spectacularly wrong, because a long buried secret is about to blow this entire imposter storyline right out of the water. If you ask me, the current situation with Anna trapped in that sterile, suffocating medical facility in France has been one of the most frustrating things to watch. We all know Anna's not losing her mind. She has been playing it incredibly cool, sitting there day after day, quietly knitting and pretending to be the perfectly compliant patient, all while her brilliant, tactical mind is secretly plotting her next daring escape. Meanwhile, back in Port Charles, the chaos surrounding Cassius, the vile imposter parading around as our beloved Nathan has reached a boiling point. The sheer audacity of this man to manipulate Nina and bond with little James is enough to make anyone sick to their stomach. The emotional toll on Felicia has been devastating to witness. She has been carrying the absolute weight of the world on her shoulders. She has been so incredibly skeptical of Anna and her desperate, frantic theory that Nathan is actually a dangerous fake. Felicia has been torn between wanting to believe her oldest, dearest friend and the terrifying reality of what it would mean for her precious grandson James if Anna is right. I have to tell you guys, watching Felicia pack her bags and travel all the way to France, you could just feel the tension radiating off the screen. She was prepared for a tearful reunion, prepared to hold her friend's hand and offer words of encouragement, completely unaware that she was walking straight into a jaw-dropping twist that would change the trajectory of all their lives forever. When Felicia finally steps into the room, the atmosphere is instantly electric. Anna is trying her best to maintain that calm, collected facade, but we all know Anna better than that. Felicia, being the incredibly observant and intuitive woman she has always been, immediately notices that something is off. Her eyes dart around the small, confined space, and that is when she spots it. Tucked away, carefully hidden from the prying eyes of the facility's doctors and guards, is a mysterious, thick stack of letters. You can literally see the wheels turning in Felicia's head. Why would Anna, who is supposed to be isolated and recovering, have a secret stash of correspondence? Anna tries to brush it off, trying to redirect the conversation, but Felicia is not having it. She insists on seeing the letters, her protective instincts flaring up to the maximum. With a heavy sigh and a trembling hand, Anna finally relents and passes the most important letter over to her dear friend. Guys, the moment Felicia's eyes scan that paper, the sheer shock that washes over her face is worthy of an Emmy. She doesn't even need to read the contents at first, because the handwriting is as familiar to her as her own reflection. The loops, the aggressive strokes, the undeniable penmanship, Felicia recognizes it instantly. She stands there, completely frozen, her heart pounding in her chest, as the realization hits her. The person who has been secretly corresponding with Anna, the mysterious informant feeding her crucial intelligence about the imposter Cassius, is none other than her own husband, Mac. I was screaming at my television screen, guys. The absolute genius of this reveal is staggering. But that's not even the craziest part. The psychological devastation and simultaneous surge of pride that Felicia experiences in that singular moment is a masterclass in soap opera acting. As she reads through the detailed, meticulously gathered evidence in the letter, the entire puzzle pieces slammed together. Mac has known, he has suspected that Cassius was a fraud for a very long time. While everyone else in Port Charles was being duped by the imposter's charming smile and fake memories of Nathan, Mac's seasoned police instincts were screaming that something was fundamentally wrong. I mean, think about it, guys. We have spent months yelling at our screens, wondering why the writers were making Mac so absent during one of the biggest crises his family has ever faced. Well, this is the magnificent answer. He wasn't absent, he was working deep undercover, sacrificing his own comfort and his marriage to ensure that when the time came, he could strike with absolute, undeniable precision. He has been quietly, relentlessly investigating Cassius in the shadows, digging up the dark, twisted truth about his identity and his sinister organization. But why keep it a secret from Felicia? Why leave his beloved wife in the dark, watching her agonize over James's attachment to this monster? Because Mac was protecting her. He knew that if Cassius caught even a hint of suspicion, Felicia and James would be in grave, immediate danger. Mac deliberately isolated himself, taking on the burden of this dangerous crusade alone, and used Anna, who was safely locked away in a French facility, far from Cassius's watchful eyes, as his secure drop for the evidence. He has been systematically building an ironclad case against the imposter, sending every shred of proof to Anna to keep it safe. The profound love and sacrifice in Mac's actions just completely wrecked my emotions. He risked everything to keep his family safe while preparing to wreak devastation upon the man who dared to desecrate Nathan's memory. But that's not even the craziest part. Once the initial shock wears off, a fierce, unstoppable fire ignites in Felicia's eyes. She is no longer just a concerned friend visiting a patient, she is a woman on a mission. The old, adventurous spirit of the 1980s, Felicia, comes roaring back to life right before our very eyes. She looks at Anna, the unspoken understanding passing between them, and they both know exactly what has to happen next. Felicia immediately shifts into full spy mode, helping Anna formulate a daring, high-stakes escape plan to break out of that heavily fortified medical facility. They cannot wait for the doctors to officially release Anna, and they certainly cannot risk Cassius making a move on James while they are stuck in Europe. The tension is absolutely agonizing as they wait for the staff to lower their guard, timing the guard patrols, and using every ounce of their legendary cunning to slip through the cracks. Felicia reveals that she knows exactly where Mac has been hiding a highly secure, off-the-grid location where he has been operating his shadow investigation. The thrill of watching these two iconic women working together, outsmarting the orderlies, and slipping out into the cool French night is the exact kind of adrenaline rush we have been begging the writers to give us. They are racing against the clock, knowing that every single second counts. They have the evidence, they have the drive, and they are on their way to reunite with the man who holds the final key to destroying the imposter's reign of terror. But that's not even the craziest part. The true climax of this monumental storyline hits when Anna and Felicia finally arrive at the undisclosed safe house. The door swings open, and there he is. Mac. The highly anticipated, triumphant return of Mac to our screens is finally happening, and let me tell you, it is glorious. The emotional reunion between Mac and Felicia is enough to bring tears to anyone's eyes, a desperate, passionate embrace after months of agonizing separation and terrifying secrets. This is the moment we have all been waiting for, the moment that makes all the slow burn storytelling completely worth it. Seeing Mac back in his element, taking charge and protecting his loved ones, is everything a longtime viewer could ever ask for. The dynamic between Anna, Felicia, and Mac is pure magic, a reminder of why we fell in love with these characters in the first place. You can see the exhaustion in Mac's eyes, the physical toll of his solitary investigation, but you can also see the unyielding determination in his soul. The three of them, Anna, Felicia, and Mac, stand together around a table completely covered in maps, photographs, and heavily redacted intelligence files. Mac lays out the full, horrifying scope of Cassius's master plan. The imposter isn't just a lone wolf, he is backed by a massive, shadowy alliance, and Mac has the definitive proof to tear the entire operation down to the studs. They begin to meticulously craft a brilliant, lethal counterattack. They are not just going to expose Cassius, they are going to lure him into a trap so inescapable, so perfectly designed, that he will never see the light of day again. The sheer power and history radiating from these three legacy characters, joining forces to avenge Nathan and protect James, is the ultimate payoff for the fans. They are preparing to launch a decisive, devastating strike that will leave Cassius with absolutely nowhere to run and no way to deny his crimes. Just as the trio finalizes the last crucial details of their master plan, ready to board a private jet back to Port Charles and unleash absolute hell upon the imposter, Mac receives a frantic, encrypted alert on his secure monitor. The blood drains from his face as he looks at Felicia and Anna. Cassius has just accelerated his own timeline, and he is making a move to take James out of the country tonight. Will our legendary heroes make it back in time to stop the unthinkable, or are they walking directly into a deadly ambush? You will just have to tune in next week, because the explosion of drama is going to be legendary.